Greetings, grasshoppers. It is your RJ. Welcome to the show today. So glad to have you. My name is RJ Redden, and this is the bot signal, playing many places across the internet. Do me a favor, look up to the top of the post. If you are not on the Black Belt Bots page, I won't be able to see your comment, but in the post, I made a little link there. If you scroll up and hit that, you'll join me on my page and you'll be able to comment live and I'll be able to answer all your questions. So without further ado, you know what? Today's show, buckle in, people. It's going to be a long one because this is one of my favorite subjects to talk about. We're going to talk today about how bots are different from traditional marketing experience, especially traditional digital marketing. I don't know how many of you out there, if you given the choice, hey, Teresa, good to see you. Happy you're here today. So happy you could catch the show. A lot of you out there are like me. You are, a 1-2 person business. Maybe you've got some VAs. Maybe you've got some contractors helping you. But there's an awful lot of self-promotion usually involved in running your own business if it's a digital business. And some days, if you could just do your business and hang up the digital marketing hat, wouldn't things be better? You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot of energy to do what we do. And I wanted today to kind of differentiate the traditional digital marketing model and what bots are and can be for people. So without further ado, no, there's one more ado. I lied. There's one more ado. I noticed today when I was doing my podcast, that I am pretty continually calling the people who are inside your chatbot, the people who have subscribed. I call them subscribers. I call them users. I call them potential clients. I call them potential connections. I call them a lot of things. But what that does is it's kind of setting up a mindset of me and them. You know, me on this side, them on that side. I think that I'm going to change that. I'm going to change it straight up. I'm just going to call them people. And I know you can follow along because you guys are a smart bunch right now. I know this. I'm just going to call them people because that's what they are. This is what makes me frustrated with traditional marketing methods. It seems like a forced relationship. It seems as if and this is what makes me so uncomfortable about marketing myself. I feel like I'm forcing my, my digital presence on people. When I email people, I was on like a program a year ago. I bought into a thing that I should never have bought into. Basically, button is not a word, by the way, unless you're just making bots. That's different. David's Rust. Now you're here. It's a party. How you doing? I'm glad to see you. So about a year ago, I kind of bought into this program, and it was one where you kind of had to email people, every 48 hours. And you had to warm up your list and, all of these tips and tricks and all of that kind of stuff. Honestly, a lot of that stuff makes normal folks feel sleazy and like we're forcing a relationship onto people. No matter what type of method you're talking about, it feels like we are sort of the digital version of a billboard, just broadcasting as much as we possible and hoping somebody comes back to us. And that is, my bot subscribers need a cool name. Well, I'll tell you, grasshoppers. I call everybody grasshoppers. Greetings, grasshoppers. It's my shtick. It's my thing. But I can't call your bot subscribers grasshoppers. So that's what I know about that. Anyway, so I'm new and confused. Bots? Yes. David Z, so glad you're here. So, you know me, I'm RJ, and I go live Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I talk about my business, which is building Facebook Messenger bots. Those are bots that live inside Facebook Messenger pages of businesses, and they engage with people. They engage with people's personal profiles. So it's like a business to personal communication right in Messenger. A lot of people are using that to market their businesses. So I would love to chat with you. I mean, sometime about it if you'd like to, because I can talk forever about bots. But that's basic in a nutshell. Let me know if that answered your question, right, David? Because I'd love to know. Aaron Strayer, hello. Now it's a party. Welcome, Aaron Strayer. So good to see you today. So we're talking about how bots differ from that traditional marketing. I know a ton of people who have excellent and amazing products that hesitate when they're asked to put themselves out there. I was talking to a person yesterday it just feels sleazy. It just feels like you're forcing a relationship. So that, my friend, is the first part of how bots are completely different from that. It doesn't feel like a forced relationship because bots are the first marketing method that I've ever run into ever that allow people respect and space. They allow people to make their own choices along a path. They allow people to hear about that new thing you're doing, or maybe just hear about it later, or not hear about it at all. And people can make these choices within the bot, go down whatever path they want, learn information, just the information that's valuable to them. They don't have to be pelted with all of the other information that you have. It's so much more like a yeah, not sure. Be live, behave. Not quite sure why that just happened, but so talking about a conversation at a party, you're meeting somebody brand new for the first time. We automatically give them respect and space. We automatically allow them to guide part of the conversation. We kind of figure out what they want to hear. We give them a little bit of space. And that is what this marketing method does as well, because it's like having that brand new conversation with somebody. Also, and here is something, am I gone completely? Holy moly. Hey, am I back? If I'm back, then please write in the comments here and allow me to also bring up Facebook and check if I'm back, because that is sad if I'm not. And of course, I will be rolling over to a different broadcast if I actually am not back. Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Aaron Strayer. You're my saving grace always. Thank you for watching, and thank you for reporting in that I'm back. Okay, so taking it from when I left, and I have absolutely no idea what happened there. All of a sudden, I was just boop out. So reloaded. Now we're back. Okay, so bots giving people respect and space. What do I mean that? What do I mean by that? Respect comes when you respect someone's choices. When somebody says, yes, I want to hear more about that thing, or maybe later I'll hear about that thing. Or, you know what? I don't want to talk politics right now. Let's go down another road. Respect is when that other person in the conversation says, okay, let's go down another road. Or, okay, I'll totally tell you about this thing if you want to hear about this thing. When you're meeting somebody for the first time and seeing if you want to develop a relationship with them, you do this stuff automatically. You do this stuff without thinking about it. With marketing, though, traditional marketing methods teach us you have to have your name in their head every 48 hours or somebody else is going to get that business. So here are your bashing tools, and we go all out, full court press. And it's a forced relationship. Bots ask you to step back from that mentality completely and have a conversation with somebody new and see if you want to make a further connection. Here is another way that bots give people respect and space. There isn't a such thing as double subscribing somebody to a sequence. Now, if you go to your email inbox right now, I'll bet you'd be able to find something for me. I bet you'd be able to find an email that came from a company or something that has at least 3 copies of the same email sent to you. I bet you'd be able to find that. Because what happens is, we use Facebook to sign into some software. We use Google to sign into some software. Well, we don't have the same email address with both. So people, you start getting double subscribed to just about everything if you use different things to sign in on the internet. And don't we all do that? Well, I do. I'll tell you I do. Anyway, so you get double, triple copies of everything. Of course, people call. You see, people only call when I'm live streaming. Anyway, so double, triple copies of everything. In bots, you cannot do that. You cannot subscribe someone twice to the same sequence. It is always going to be a linear conversation. It is always going to be, not that completely repetitive stuff that we're so used to getting. It's one of the reasons I love it. Aaron says, it's respect. It's so needed, and bots are fantastic for giving the space necessary. Absolutely. Absolutely. So ringy dingy. I know it happens every time I live stream now. I'm like, some marketer has got me on an auto call. Anyway, very good. Here's where bots give you space. You can answer questions on your own time. You can answer questions. If a bot is giving you can answer messages, we'll say, instead of questions. You can answer messages anytime. You can answer them right now. You can wait a day. You can wait a week. You can wait a year and answer a question in a year. And you can pick up that conversation right where you left off. It allows people the space to do things in their own time. I don't know how many of you know moms with young kids. I know a lot of them. A lot of them in my friendship circle, and a lot of them need time to answer questions, I don't know, between 2 and 4 in the morning when they can't get back to sleep. They need to have their half of the conversation when they have time, not when you have time. People overseas, right? That's people that are 6 or 7 hours timed, away from us. I want to have conversations with people overseas. So bot allows a little bit of space. People can choose when they want to answer questions, to get involved in a conversation, and nothing is missed. Teresa says, the only thing that has kept me from diving into bots is where to use them. Can you use them other places online other than Facebook pages? Absolutely. So, in answer to your question here real quick, Teresa, there is a place called botlist.co. Let me type it in here for you. Botlist.co. Now, I will say that their interface is a little squidgy, but you can get on there and search for bots for Slack, Skype, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp. You can do all of those things. The thing is that because people have been developing bots for years, the reason you're hearing so much about bots right now is because the hook into Messenger makes it so a non-programmer can build a bot. Most of the bots that you're seeing for other platforms, for the WhatsApp and the Slack and all of that of the world, most of those they're geared toward people who can program code. I can program code if somebody puts a gun to my head. Hopefully that's not going to be happening. That is not my thing. The reason that it's so popular is because platforms like ManyChat have been making it easy for non-coders. Do I expect that to change in the future? Yes. Facebook Messenger, other companies are looking over here and going, you know what, that's causing a lot of ruckus. Maybe we should extend. I think that bots are going to start becoming easier to write on other platforms as well. But as of right now, Messenger is the only game for non-programmers in town. I hope that helped. Telegram and Slack have a bot bridge. Yep, absolutely. There's so much out there, and some of it, it's a crazy world. It's the Wild West right now. And so, have a dig into botlist.co and let me know what you think of that, because that's a good place to experiment and, just kind of subscribe to a lot of things and see what you like. So back to the topic here. Okay, so I was talking about the space that messenger bots give you to answer questions, to be involved in a conversation, all of that. One more thing on that is that in a bot, I am typically sending people a whole lot less messages that are a whole lot more targeted. Okay? So instead of gathering people into my circle and then just, everybody's on the everything news channel, all RJ all the time, which doesn't work in bots, by the way. I send to this group every once in a while when there's a change or an update or some news. I'll send to this group entirely different group of people when there's a change in this area. Sometimes I'll just send messages to individuals. Hey, you were asking me about this. This made me think of you, that kind of stuff. I may not send somebody a message for 6 weeks, 3 months. It doesn't really matter. When I do send messages, people open them because they're valuable. So that is another way that bots give people a little bit of space, is that I'm not going to broadcast to you every 48 hours, people. If you know me and you are interested in bots, let's have a conversation. If you want to get into the bot, see what it does, check out mybot.com. Go there. You'll flip right into my bot. But honestly, I don't need to be the person that's on top of your brain all the time. I don't need to force a relationship. So anyway, so let's see. Let me get caught up on the comments here. David says, I use Telegram, Slack, GroupMe, and Hangouts for Ingress, which is a GPS game. Oh, sweet. That is awesome. And that those things are all tied into each other. That's pretty cool. Be careful with those bots, because some of them from Seattle created a bot that created heat maps of where people lived. Okay, let's talk about this, David. All bots are not created equally. The only ones that I am currently involved with is Facebook Messenger stuff. Facebook Messenger has a lot of controls on their program. They have a lot of safety mechanisms. They control the platform. If you do something against their terms of service, if you take somebody's information and, do something nefarious, You're getting tossed out of there. Listen, I don't think Mark wants to go before Congress again. I think that was a bad day for him. They're taking measures to protect things. There are bots on Twitter that are completely, doing nefarious things. There are bots on all types of programs that are doing all types of things. So right here, I'm just talking about Facebook Messenger. And when I say bots, it's just because chatbots is 2 syllables and therefore harder to say. So that's good to know. It's good to know kind of where things are at out there. I tend to play in this sandbox because this is the best sandbox to be in for me. I don't have any need to, those other things are creating a bad name for bots, basically. So moving on completely. Second reason that how bots differ from traditional marketing is that they encourage humanity and personality. I've talked about this a little bit on the show before, and this bears repeating because in a bot, you get to do you. You don't have to copy somebody else's 7-step system to greatness. You don't have to polish it up and shine it up and make it all, absolute perfection. You don't have to do any of those things. Inside a bot, it's you having a conversation with another person. And so you get to show your humanity a little bit. You get to have a sense of humor if you have a sense of humor. You get to make mistakes occasionally. Sometimes you fall off the screen in a video. I mean, these are things that happen to humans. You are a human being marketing to other human beings. And for me, the more personality I put in the bot, the more I win. Here's why. Because as human beings, we tend to make emotional decisions and then back them up with facts. We like to pretend that we just make decisions based on facts, but we're not all that rational. I mean, come on. We make gut decisions based on our feelings, and then we back it up with facts. We do this in dating. We do this when we are interviewing people for a job. We do this, when we first meet people, we're kind of sorting people into buckets. We make emotional decisions on people. So doesn't it make sense then to go ahead and just be yourself in a bot? Listen, there are 10,000 bot teachers out there. Why would you choose me? You would choose me because I resonate with what you want to do. That you trust me to teach you to teach you how to make things and to make things in some cases that will bring you towards your next goal. You have some kind of resonation, you have some sort of understanding with me, and that's that, decision that you've made. All the bot teachers out there, we've all been working on bots for a year or less than a year, because that's when bots exploded about a year ago. We all there's no degree in this. There's no certification anywhere. Well, I'm sure that there's some certification somewhere, but why would you choose one over the other? Personality, emotional reasons, those kinds of things. You trust that person. So what I'm saying, when I say personality in your chat bot, put that personality in there. You want people to see who you are. You want people to resonate or not with your personality. Otherwise, it's a forced relationship and that traditional kind of digital marketing. So, let's see here. I'm looking at my notes over here. The more personality, the more humanity you put in your bot, the better it's going to be. And the more people will know, do they want to further a relationship with you, or do they want to unsubscribe and go somewhere else with somebody that's better for them? So enough about that one. Aaron says, you're the bot queen. Hey, thank you. You're 100% relatable, and keep communication human. A lot of people have that cognitive dissonance, when I say bots are human. The only part of a bot that is automatic and computer generated and computer controlled is the time schedule and the actual delivery of the message. Everything else is you. The videos you create, the messages you write, the PDFs you create, the image, everything that you put into that chatbot, all of the message, that's all created by you. That, and you're not just writing messages, you're creating an experience for people. That when people go through that, they begin to know who you are, and then they can make that decision about whether they want to go further with you or not. So really, the more you put in there, the more of your personality, the better. And bots are incredibly human, because otherwise it would just be like, when you call in to some big company and they've got that voice direction, type 1 for, nobody gets up in the morning and says, I really would like to hear some automatic responses today. Don't be automatic in your responses. Write them as if you're a human talking to a human, and you'll have great success with it. I promise you. Okay, number 3. Woohoo! We're getting through this agenda pretty quick, kids. So if you have questions, type them in the comments. And also, totally forgot to say, so glad it says on the frame right here, if you want to get reminders of whenever I go live and never miss another show, totally possible. Just type the word live in the comments, and you will get an invitation to get into my chatbot. Where I publish little reminders when I go live on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So third point, and this may be the most important. Can you make them respond to keywords? Oh, absolutely. And in fact, that's huge, and that's key. My bots are set to open a conversation whenever anybody types something into the bot that's not prompted by me. It's set to open that conversation, and it is set right now. I have a certain amount of keywords in there. For instance, you can type in the word privacy policy in my bot and get a copy of the bot's privacy policy. Now, that was really big during GDPR last month. Right now, I doubt you want to read that thing, although it does have a plain English version. But you can type in privacy policy. You can type in, if you type in my name in the bot will summon me in the background. So there are a ton of keywords possible. I use that stuff all the time, David. It's good stuff. Okay. Kim is here. Woohoo! I'm so happy you're here, Kim. This is a great party today. We're talking about what makes bots different than other marketing stuff. Now, Kim is a digital marketing queen. I don't know if you knew this, but she's the master of all things digital. And we have a lot of conversations about this stuff. So, Kim, maybe you've heard this stuff before, but I'm so glad you're here. Anyway, third thing, how it's different from traditional digital marketing. And this is the craziest part, all right? So buckle in if you haven't already. Nurture over numbers. Okay, so as digital marketers, as people who own our own businesses and are, doing business online, we are trained to look at numbers all day, every day. Website analytics, page likes, video views, you name it. If you market, if you're putting content out there regularly, you are scrutinizing how well that content is working by looking at who has clicked on what. What has their response to these things been? And that is all very well and good because you can look at those and decide, okay, a little bit more effort over here. Okay, this ain't working. I'm going to trash it. Very good. Very good. And, bots have statistics too. I can tell who's clicked through on stuff. That's all very important stuff. But while numbers are important, when you're doing a chatbot, nurture is more important. Let me tell you why. Because if you looked at all of my numbers, if you looked at my page likes and my video views and my minutes watched per video and my website statistics and all of those things, it would not nearly give you the full picture of what is happening in my business right now today that has never, ever happened before. Here's what's never, ever happened before. I have people that I don't know contacting me and signing a contract and sending it back to me on the same day. That has never happened in my business before. It is a much longer sales cycle. Usually there are things happening in my business that have never, I am trying to figure out how to scale my business. I've been a solo person for so long that I don't even know necessarily how to go about this. Okay, I'm just being real with you here. If you looked at how many page likes I have, it absolutely does not correspond with what I just told you. There's no clear road between a lot of my statistics and how well my business is doing right now. The numbers aren't telling me very much. Here's what tells me a whole lot, and here's what fires me up about bots and the fact that I don't have to pay as close attention to all the statistics anymore. I pay attention now to how many conversations I'm having in a day inside my bot, and I look at how many conversations are coming outside of the bot and into a meeting. A lot of times that meeting is virtual because I live in Omaha, Nebraska, and I think my only client here is Kim Bolsma. I think so. I mean, I've talked to a lot of other people about bots, but the lion's share of my folks come from everywhere in the world. So I'm taking a lot of meetings online here. Am I taking the conversations that I'm having inside my chatbot, and am I moving that to an actual meeting? The more times I do that, the more people sign up and get some services from me. That's the thing to pay attention to, is the nurture. The nurture for me is the secret. The 20 minutes a day that I spend in my chatbot going, does everybody understand what's going on? Are people flowing through this really well? Has anybody summoned me that I didn't get to in the last 24 hours? These nurture things are my goal now. These are the things that are more important than what any number on any sort of analytics spreadsheet could tell you. And to me, that's really important because you know what? I'm not a spreadsheet girl. I'm not. I know that some of you are spreadsheet people. My wife's one. She's amazing with a spreadsheet. She can do a pivot table. What is this black magic? I don't even know, okay? I'm not a person that gets a whole lot out of looking at numbers and statistics. I look at them and kind of go, all right, very good. I check on it every once in a while. But what is more important in my business, and bots have made this possible, is that the nurture part of it is so much more rewarding. And it really is the thing that puts the contracts on the table for me. Let's see if I can catch up on this. How easy are chatbots to hack? I have never tried hacking one of these, David. Facebook Messenger, haven't heard a whole lot about people being able to hack that. Pretty stable platform. Probably there are some cases out there. I know that sometimes people make up fake Facebook accounts entirely and then troll people and businesses. When I find one of those, I get rid of you. That's what I do. So for me, I haven't found a whole lot of cases, nor have I heard about a whole lot of cases where Facebook Messenger platform itself has been hacked. Everybody's mileage varies, I guess. But it's not a question that keeps me awake at night at all. Aaron says, so many people get hung up on the numbers and the likes instead of the actual engagement. You know why? It just makes us feel good. It makes us feel heard, doesn't it? When you get so many likes on a post, it just makes you feel like somebody's paying attention to me out there. I'm not invisible. This is awesome. But the tough thing about that over time is that if you start depending on that pattern, then when you post something and people don't necessarily respond to it right away, the feelings that you get after that are kind of ugly. You know what I'm saying? So to me, changing that paradigm of statistics, numbers predict everything, into nurture predicts everything. And it does in my business. That is one of the most valuable shifts that has happened. I know you talk about a lot about shifts on your show, Aaron. And you've certainly had some yourself. That is the most valuable mindset shift that a person who is like me, if you're a solopreneur or if you have a few employees or VAs or whatever, but if you're a really small micro business and you hate marketing yourself because it feels like a forced relationship, you might love bots because then it switches and it seems to be all about nurture. The 20 minutes a day you spend in your bot, taking those conversations outside of the chat bot and into a meeting. When that becomes more important, then you really see some stuff happen. At least I have and my clients have. So that's what I know about that. I just thought of something. Can you go live into a bot? I know you said you can do videos. You can only do videos. You can't go live into bots right now. Now, let me say this, Teresa. They are working on a ridiculous amount of things. This thing, right now, you can put video, audio, PDFs, images, and text into a bot. You can also attach files if they're under 25 megabytes. 25 megabytes seems to be their big dividing line between things that will upload and things that will not. You could put those 5 things in. That's fantastic. They're so working on other things, though, my darling. They are so working on other things. They're working on virtual reality type stuff, augmented reality, sorry. They're working on augmented reality type stuff. They're working on so many things to put into this. They want to expand the platform. And of course they do. They're a casino. They want you on all the time. That's a subject for another show, but can't do it right now. But do I expect something in the future? Yes. Have I heard rumors? No. So it might be a while, but that's the news on that thing. Dang, I would love that. I would cherish the opportunity to do that, but I would see it as, because Facebook Messenger is not a place where people want to spend a couple hours. You know what I'm saying? Like a couple hours. Like they want, people are conditioned over the years they've been using Messenger to getting these short and sweet messages. These short and sweet back and forth. So while I would never do a show like this in Facebook Messenger and broadcast it to folks that were interested, I would do a 2-3 minute, hey, guess what's up today, everybody? ManyChat just made a huge change and you all need to know, blah, 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 over and out. I would do that live anytime. And that would reduce the production on my end than to make it into a video and crush it down. And it would save time for me to be able to go live too. But I don't ever see it being a long format live. I see everything being short format because we've been trained on how to use Messenger through years of using it with family and friends. And nobody's going to watch a movie for an hour in that thing. So I would love to do that too. Absolutely. Yeah, that's what you were hoping for, stuff like that. Well, because in education and stuff like that in your field, you want to give people those quick little hits without all of the video production time. I get you, and I do expect it to come. I just haven't heard that it is coming. Nurture. Okay, I don't know what that means. And then you said, whoops, typos. Tell me what you meant, Aaron Strayer, because I would love to know. Kim says, I'm with Aaron. Except for what I do, perception is important. So but I don't get so hung up about it myself. So Kim's talking about being, a social media person. Yeah, you got to have the numbers. And once upon a time, I did some of what Kim is doing for a living. And yeah, when you say you're the, queen of something, you got to have numbers to back that up. But getting really hung up on that number is, Kim and I have seen it a bunch of times. People just get so hung up on it and going, okay, if I go live and, this many people don't watch, only this many people watch it, and it's under the goal I've set for myself, that I'll be just going to stop going live. It's so tough to see people make that decision, because it's the wrong decision to make usually. So very good. Oh, hey, Cheryl's here. Hey, Cheryl, how you doing? Good to see you today. Mentioned you on somebody's show today. I hope you don't mind. But very good. Okay. So that's, let me sum up for you. This is kind of what I think makes bots the most viable option for people who are tired of traditional marketing methods, for people who hate marketing themselves because it feels sleazy and it feels like a forced relationship, and for people who are a little shy around the edges. Now hear this. I am terribly shy in a crowd. We go to a networking event, Kim and I, and Kim's like, why don't you, I don't know, talk to people sometimes? Hey, I'm a shy person. I don't necessarily want, I'm not all for putting myself out there unless I'm, here alone in my office and my dog is sleeping beside me. You know what I'm saying? I'm very gregarious on a live stream, but you get me out of this office and I'm a little bit different. I'm shy. If you resonate with any of those things, if you're a shy person, if you feel like traditional marketing is way too forced relationshipy, or if you're just tired of looking at your numbers and judging yourself, this is why bots are different. They give people respect and space. They give the people who are subscribed to your bot respect and space. They get to answer in their own way, on their own time. They get to pick what they want to hear about a lot more efficiently than any other marketing method out there. Most marketing is a spray and pray sometimes. And this one, people get to pick and choose what they want to hear about, which is very valuable. You end up sending less messages, but they're more valuable, so they get opened more. Telling you, there's a secret there. Second thing, bots encourage humanity and encourage you to use your own personality. If you're a coach, this is especially big, because if you Google business coaches or life coaches out there, you'll see 22,000, 32,000. You'll see huge numbers of results. And you and I know, if somebody Googles life coach, I mean, you're no matter what kind of work you do, unless you're paying for Google ads, showing up on that first page is really quite difficult. So if you are, there are so many other people who do what you do that it's hard to differentiate yourself. Let me tell you, your personality differentiates yourself right now. Right now. There are some people that are going to watch you do a video or watch you do a live, and they're going to say, that person is somebody that I trust. That is someone I want to connect with further. Chatbots allow you to take that personality too that you've got in your live streams, that you've got in all of the other things that you do, and put that into the messages. And that, my friend, is golden, because then people are allowed to self-select. They can self-select into a further relationship with you. You don't have to force it on them, or you don't ever have to feel like you're forcing it on them. That's probably the better verbiage there. And then finally, nurture over numbers, my darlings. My darlings. The numbers are important. I'm not going to say they're not important, but I'm going to say that in this case, if you use bots, nurture will bring you more results every time. It's more important than the numbers. Kim says, it cracks me up to watch you at networking events until you get warmed up. Yeah, that's true. You know, I just have this weird shyness thing that just comes in at odd moments. So Kim usually has to kind of introduce me to a few people. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. So those are the three things. Those are the three things that make this different. Those are three reasons to give bots a shot. And you don't need me to give bots a shot. You can go right to ManyChat, start a free account right now. You don't need me. People hire me because they want the expertise. They want the shortcuts that I know. They want to work with me. That's great stuff. But there are some folks out there that just want to get a hold of this thing and, you know, make a sequence today. You can do that. You can do that. And if you go with a pro account, $10 a month. You know, it is very, very minimal cost to get into bots. So think about that. Think about these three differences from traditional marketing, and think about, you know, do you want to try something new? So very good. Kim says, you guys, this is not a paid promotion. I love you, Kim. I'll sit up so I don't feel like I'm chinning the comments. There we go. Not a paid promotion. RJ's the real deal. If you're on the fence about working with her, she'll blow your mind with her ideas on how chatbots can grow your business. I've done nothing else for a year but think about this, people. And that is why get on her calendar, make it happen. Thank you. That's totally not a paid promotion. You are a fangirl. And I'm a huge fan of yours. So it goes both ways for that one, my friend. So want to talk a little bit. Now, if you guys have questions about all the things that I just said, or if you want to clarify something, or if I went too fast, ask them in the comments. If you're watching the replay right now, if this show happened days, months, or years ago, if you write in the comments, I'll still get back to you. Promise. So write some questions in the comments if you've got them. Right now, I'm going to divert from the huge, and I'm going to go toward, if you are a live streamer, Live Video Hub. I am writing, so Live Video Hub is a place where you can cross-post videos, your live streams. Many of you know about this already. If you've been within hearing distance of Stephen Healy, and he has a pretty far reach, okay, because he's in the UK. If you've been within the sound of his voice in the last month, then you know about cross-posting. But for those of you who don't know, Facebook made cross-posting available on people's pages about a month ago. What that is, that's different from sharing. Sharing a video is a little bit different. That's kind of a momentary thing. That's kind of an in the moment thing. Cross-posting is where you enter an agreement with another business page and you say, hey, I'd like to be able to cross-post my live videos to your audience when I feel like it's appropriate, and I want to allow you to do the same thing. So right now, you can see me on a number of places on the internet, my friends. You can see me in at least 8 places and more if people have hit the share button. So Stephen had this idea that we could create a page, that he could create a page, because I do not want to take credit for any of this. Create a page where businesses can cross-post all their videos to, and then you could watch that page like Netflix. You could watch that page like, a TV channel, basically. And what that did was I started getting involved in this project with him because I'm crazy. You know that I am, right? You saw the purple hair and you knew. Yeah, I'm a little nuts. And I started getting involved and I said, well, we really need to write a bot that will allow people to discover shows. Because if you get on the Live Video Hub on Facebook right now, you'll see me, but you'll probably also see a couple other people broadcasting and doing things, and that's a wonderful thing. But like, how do you find some things that you might want to watch? So I've written a bot I'm writing currently a bot that will help people discover channels. If you're on Live Video Hub already and you have not filled out my little, if you've not gotten into the bot and done my little thing where I ask you for the dates and the times and the stuff of your show, I encourage you, and I'll throw the link in the comments a little bit later. I encourage you to do so because I'm doing all of that tonight and tomorrow. I'm going to be putting the first people that have responded to this request in, and you'll always be first in line. Let me say, when people are flipping through shows, if I put you first, then you're first. So you will get more exposure if you give the bot, the hub bot, the humble hub bot is what I'm calling it. Give it your information. I'll throw the link in there so that y'all know what I'm talking about. David says, I'd be sold more on the bot idea if you were wearing the Yoda hat. Oh, brother. It's right up here. Excuse me for a moment while I show you all where the hallowed hat is. Boop! Right up there, babies. Yeah, I love that Yoda hat. I have so many instances of Yoda in this room. Yoda and Bob Ross are currently competing for first place in this room right now. I'm so happy you showed up. David Z, let's chat. It's been too long, darling. It's just been too long. I did not know about this request. Oh, Cheryl. So it's a little link, and I'm going to pop it in right in the comments so you'll be able to hit on it. It's going to ask days and times for your show. It's going to ask for a little show card, and it will, and I'm putting it together into a bot that will help you search by subject for a show. So it will also, if you've got a bot connected to your show, like a reminder bot or something, I also ask you for that link so I can connect people right to your reminders. It is going to be fabulous. And I say that with jazz hands. So I'll drop the link so that you can get in there, Cheryl. I would love to see your show in there. Talk about the request again. Got it. We'll fill it out as soon as I see the link. Super sweet. Incoming in 8 minutes or less. All right. Very good. Love Yoda. Raised my son quoting Yoda. Of course. So many beautiful quotes in there. And I was so happy to see him in The Last Jedi. I really, really was. I just love seeing Yoda. Bob 1, Yoda 1A. Exactly. Like, it's like two kids. You don't love one of them more. You just love them a little differently. And those are definitely the loves of my life, I think. Very good. So that's what's going on today. Tomorrow, at 11 o'clock Central Time, and this will be on the Blackbots page as well, you will be able to see me create this bot with Stephen Healy. What we've done is this will be our 6th show. And what we're doing is he is acting as my client, and I am putting him through the process and asking him the questions and figuring out what we need to put in this bot. It's just kind of a demonstration of how building a bot really works. If you're not building it by yourself, even if you are, you can take this process and use it for yourself. And it's a great show. It's a great show tomorrow at 11. Do come on by. It'll be right here on the Black Belt Bots page. It'll also be, of course, broadcasted everywhere. Our cross posting will allow us. And so do come and comment and ask questions, because I love bringing people in to this little field. I love being the person at the door who welcomes you in, because I think bots are going to change the way that we think about marketing. I think that it's going to be less like sometimes the online space reminds me of high school. You know, the clicks, you got to be liked by this person and this, and all of that kind of stuff. And how am I ever going to compete against that? Listen, I was and am a nerd. I sat at the nerd table in college. We were the radio station. We were the nerd table babies. I've never been able to compete against people who have great big crowds of people. But you know what bots will be able to help you do? Climb the next rung on the ladder, wherever you are. Bots will allow you to climb that next rung on the ladder and start having conversations that are valuable with people that you can develop a relationship with. So, my darlings, once again, the show has come to a close. I'm so sad to report. If you love the show and you want some reminders, boop, type live in the comments. I'm so happy to see you whenever. Get on my calendar if you'd like. Get into the bot if you would like. Welcome to my corner. So glad to have you here. So I'll be tomorrow at 11 and then Thursday at 1 right here on Black Belt Bots. And with that, my darlings, I will see you in a bot.